When you look at where you could go to ski, there's like high-end technical stuff, and then there is the stuff that Vonnie's interested in, which is the high-end eating and entertainment. Are there places that do both?
That's absolutely right. So you're definitely trying to negotiate a lot of different interests. Not only interests, but also your ability level, how much time you want to spend on the snow, who you want to rub elbows with, what you want to do afterwards, après ski, days off. So many factors that will impact where you want to go skiing. And it's so easy to just say like, oh, I love Vail, let's just go back to Vail like we did for the last 4 or 5 years. So this was really designed to find exactly what you're asking about, places that can really help you balance it all that you've maybe not considered it before.
Yeah, I was fascinated by some of the questions. So one of them, as you mentioned, was, do you want to rub elbows with the likes of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? Not that that will be happening this winter. Or, another answer was, anyone I can network with.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's really a factor?
It's totally a thing, and sometimes it's harder than other times. So the question about who you want to network with, or can I network with people on this trip? So that would be really good for people who are more interested in a small group trip. For instance, one of the destinations was Arctic Canada, which you can only explore through a very particular company who only books 8 guests at a time to take out a community lodge in Nunavut, which is really, really, really northern Arctic
I couldn't spell
skiing.
it, I'm afraid to say.
we can do a spelling bee here on the spot. Anyhow, because it's 8 people and it's so expensive, you really do kind of end up grouping like-minded individuals. A lot of finance types go on these trips, and so that kind of inspired that answer to a certain extent.
It's funny that you mentioned Vail. I grew up on the East Coast. We would go to Vail in part because it was easy to get to. You could fly to Denver, you could fly to Vail directly.
Totally.
We never went to Telluride for that reason. It was seen as like, that's going to take up another, the day is going to be a full day of travel if you had to do that. That's starting to change, I guess.
That's starting to change, and it's funny that you say that because that's exactly what my husband has always said. He said, I always wanted to ski in Telluride, but it's so much easier to get to Vail or even Aspen, which is just another quick flight over, right? Telluride is getting direct airlift from Denver, so it will be just as easy to get to Telluride as it is to get to Aspen
That was my second, I had to take the quiz again because I've been to Italy and I thought, well, I wanted to see the Northern Lights, so I took it again, and Telluride was my next answer.
Telluride is all about easy access now, which it hasn't been before. There are amazing hotels. The slopes are really pristine. It's a really well-rounded experience, and it's not as crowded as some of the other popular Colorado resorts.
What about the costs, Nikki? I mean, if you were to do a trip like that in the various different places that Business Week offers you up, is there a major difference between cost in one place and cost in another?
Well, of course it depends on where you're based, right? For some people, going to the Italian Alps is a hop and a skip away, whereas for us, being based here in New York, Telluride is obviously going to be a very easy option. So there's so many parameters that go into that. I would say lift tickets are more expensive in Colorado than they are in Europe. Accommodations can be more expensive in Courchevel than they are maybe in Italy. So there are a lot of varying factors, and you can make them all work depending on your budget.
Before we go, Vonnie said she wanted to see the Northern Lights. I imagine that may be possible in Canada.
Skis.
You're right, exactly. But where would you see that? And
well, you would see them in Norway. And Vonnie, you said that you're not much of a skier anymore. That's why even though you chose the Northern Lights, you didn't get sent to Norway on your reporting trip, because it would really take a heli skier with advanced ability to ski there. But it's really amazing. It's these little maritime towns right on the fjords. The mountains literally jut out of the fjords. So you're heliing up and then skiing down basically into the water. It's what it looks like. And it's amazing seafood and just really small town charms and Northern Lights.
It's a great article. The other option, if you wanted to network, was a herd of reindeer. That's what I picked.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, please take the quiz, and there's a ton more content. We're doing Ski Week at Bloomberg Pursuit, so if none of these 6 destinations suit your needs, there will be lots more coming.
Very good.